people. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Now the first thing that is popping in the news is that we see that a 44-year-old lady, she was conned up and she was taken out. We are speaking about in a place called Augustown. And what is even more disturbing about this whole story is that it is said that she was actually in her bed, and also she is a disabled person. We are speaking about 44-year-old and her name is Susan Bogle. Now, based on the report, it is said that she was in her bed, relaxing, sleeping, whatever the case is, when she basically picked up a attack and passed away. Now, based on information, it is said that there was a joint military team, we are talking about P0L and also soldier, JCF and JDF, that was on patrol in the area, and they came under fire by some people. We are talking about some gunmen, and it is said that upon returning fire, we are speaking about an innocent victim got hit, and people, we are talking about a disabled lady, like I said before. The report also stated that she was taken to the place of recovery. We are speaking about the University Hospital of the West Indies. However, she did not make it. Now, people, when we hear this report or reports like this, we have to ask ourselves the question, why are some of these GVNM3N and also the P0L so reckless? Why does it seem like 90% of these persons or 99% of these people are very bad? We're talking about at aiming, we're speaking about at shooting, because most of the time whenever you hear anything escalate in any sort of garrison, whether it is between the P0L and gunmen or even we are talking about some gang rivalry, it is always a possibility or the probabilities are that it is mostly innocent victims or bystanders that always get hit. So people, something is definitely wrong with that, and it is very disturbing, point blank and period. Now, what is also sad about this whole story is that her son, and his name is Omari Stevens, he said that he was at work when he got this news. So people, just imagine how you as a son feel when you hear say your mother taken out by some armed security force. We are talking about the P0L and the soldier. We are speaking about persons that are supposed to protect, serve and protect on people. We see that in a lot of cases, we see that they are responsible for a lot of reckless. We are talking about murder or manslaughter, whatever the case is. In this case, people, I don't know what to call it. Like I said, it is under the investigation of Indicom. So anyways, based on the son's account of the incident, he said that he was at work when he got the news. We are speaking about the bad news that his mother was slapped away or his mother was shot in her bed. And he said that he left work and he raced home in his car. And when he got to the house, he saw that the place was yellow tape and chalk line. So people, you know that that is usually bad news. That means that people are deading. So he said that he shouted his mother's name a couple of times. However, he did not get any sort of response, and he was not allowed because of the yellow tape and chalk line to enter the premises. So people, just imagine how that son felt. So anyways, he recounted that after several times of shouting his mother's name and did not get any sort of response, he overheard a security officer telling the next one that the lady gets slapped away and she was taken to the place of recovery, or she picked up some can and she was taken to the University of the West Indies Hospital. We are talking about Huey Mona. The son further stated that once he got that information, he jumped in his car and he speedily raced over to the hospital. However, when he got there, he saw his mother's lifeless body lying out. We are talking about full of blood. May I talk about red up. Now, people, just imagine how the son feels. Just imagine the emotional trauma. Just imagine the distress. We are speaking about the pain that he felt in his heart when he saw his mother, who is 44-year-old, passed away before her time. We are speaking about in a reckless form. We are speaking about it was uncalled for. We are speaking about it made absolutely no sense. Now, people, like I've said before, this is always going to be a reoccurring theme whenever we have persons running around reckless. We are talking about the P0L and gunmen. We are talking about the JDF. So my point is that the possibility or the probabilities are whenever you have any sort of shootout in these garrison, we are speaking about between the popo or armed forces and gunmen, it is always going to be, or most of the times, it is going to be innocent bystanders, or in this case, somebody that is lying in her bed. And in this case, we are speaking about a person that is disabled, that pick up tack on people. That is the case in this case on people. It is very disturbing, point blank and period. Now, people, what is even worse about this situation is that whenever anything goes down like this, it is always going to be covered up. It is always going to be swept under the rug, because people, we see that the popo is always going to take off for the popo. We see that the popo, they are going to hide any sort of ballistic report. And people, we understand that Indicom is also investigating. However, you know, as it pertains to popo and soldier, they are always going to pick up for each other. They are always going to hide behind this badge. We are speaking about the badge of recklessness. We are speaking about the badge of impunity. We are speaking about the badge that seems to give them immunity against anything that they do that is unlawful. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, like I said, we have to just hope for the best and expect the worst. And like I've always said, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up. Now, before I move to the next part of my video, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. One word, don't put any space between the words. And also, please subscribe to this channel. We are speaking about true Jamaica buzz. And when you subscribe, please press the notification bell or icon, and also press all in the option. Now, the next thing that is popping in the news is that we saw that a man was taken into custody and charged and arrested for the slap away of a teenager in downtown. We are speaking about Kingston, and this was an incident that occurred, we are speaking about just over a week ago. The police said the suspect, we are speaking about 30-year-old, and his name is Jesse Jackson. And people, if you are familiar with that name, we are speaking about the Reverend Jesse Jackson from America. I don't know where he got that name, however, that is his name. And it is said that he is a carpenter, and he is from Victoria Street. We are speaking about downtown Kingston. And he was charged for the slap away of 16-year-old. We are speaking about a person whose name is Norville Hall, and this incident occurred in Denham Town. Now, if you are not familiar with this case, it is a case in which it is said that a 16-year-old boy, he was home when he was pounced upon by a group of gunmen, and then basically caught him up, and he was taken to the place of recovery, and he did not make it. And based on the Popo report, it is said that Mr. Jackson, he was charged for murder and also conspiracy to slap away after he was pointed out during an identification parade. So people, it seems that there was some sort of eyewitness, and they went to the Popo and them say, that is him right there. That is a suspect, or one of the suspects, point blank and period. So the moral of the story is this. We saw that in that incident that occurred, I think, on the 17th of May, and today is what? We are speaking about just over a week. So therefore, the Popo is putting in the work. The Popo is getting results. And what is even more jaw-dropping and disturbing about this whole case is that during that one day or in a couple of hours, we are talking about 3 persons got caught up. We are speaking about an 8-year-old, we are talking about a 16-year-old, and then a next lady. So people, we are talking about 2 people get killed. We are speaking about within a couple of hours. And based on the Popo information, we are speaking about the suspect in the slap away of the 8-year-old. He was also arrested and charged. We are speaking about a couple of days ago. And then boom, we are speaking about a few days later, we are talking about the suspect in the slap away of the 16-year-old. So people, we have to give credit where credit is due. We see that the Popo is putting in their work, and we are also seeing that they are also looking for other suspects in the slap away of the 16-year-old. We are talking about Norville Hall. So people, we have to give credit to the Popo. They are working, they are getting the results, they are having a very high success rate. We are speaking about lately, we are speaking about since 2019, 2020, them are do them thing, point blank and period. Now people, what is also sad about this case is that It is said that after this 16-year-old got slapped away, the 8-year-old was slapped away as a retaliation. So people, we are talking about a 16-year-old slap away an 8-year-old and also a 30-year-old. And this combo slap away a next teenager. So people, we are talking about little pit, we are talking about teenager I get slapped away by some worthless people. Point blank and period. So anyways, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.